She's babysitting some kids in the suburbs, and her friend gets stranded downtown, and she has to go save her and take the kids, and in so doing is confronted by a series of scary downtown people.
Oh no!
Basically, Adventures in Babysitting is Get Out for white people. And then the kids, who are going to be the kids for the movie, there's this young boy named Brad. The younger sister, she loves Thor. The sister comes in and goes, guess who's going to babysit? It's Chris. And like his popcorn pops, symbolizing the sound of her name. His popcorn goes everywhere. Her whole room is Thor. And he's like, what are you doing more? Fan artwork for Thor? But she says, he's my hero. And he says, Thor's a homo. And she goes, no, he's not. And he goes, yes, he is. Okay, so she shows up. And then there has to be a goofy best friend. Mm-hmm. And this goofy best friend is Anthony Rapp. If you think about it, you could describe the Kevin Spacey allegations as Adventures in Babysitting. So he knocks on the window. He's not supposed to be there. And he's like, hey, is it true that Elizabeth Shue is going to be your babysitter? And he's like, you're not going to believe this. The girl in this month's Playboy looks exactly like Elizabeth Shue. Mm. And we see it, and it just is Elizabeth Shue. Oh. She's watching the kids. And so then Brenda calls. Brenda, the friend who hates her stepmother.
Yes.
She was having troubles at home. She calls from a phone booth, and she's like, what's up, Brenda? And she's like, you have to come and get me. I did it. I ran away. Mm. I guess she just spent all of her money on the taxi cab to the bus station in downtown Chicago. Mm-hmm. She says, like, I saw someone shoot up. I saw a crazy guy. I saw an Asian lady. Or it's some combination of those things. I saw hobos, clowns, Michael Dukakis. I saw 3 children wearing a trench coat, a baby with a tattoo. MC Scat Cat is here. So she's like, you got to come get me. And there's a guy in the bus station who looks at her like crazy, and he just shows her a gun. He goes like, I've got a gun.
Oh, no!
Would you rather a guy showed you his penis or his gun?
Oh, fuck.
Now, what if one of them had to go off? So then she's like, okay, well, I'll just come get you. Oh. So she's got like her mom's station wagon, and she tells the kids, like, I'm just going to leave for a second. And the kids are like, we want to go to Chicago. And they blackmail her and say, if you don't take us with you, we'll tell our mom you left us alone. Oh. Then little Anthony Rapp comes out. He does the same thing. He's like, well, if you don't take me with you, I'll blah, 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 blah. It's nighttime. They're driving on the expressway. So she's telling them a scary story, but, you know, like the classic hook man. There's like, you know, there's always like, there's a hook man on the loose.
Oh, there's always a hook man.
It's always a hook man on the loose. Yeah. She's telling the hook man story. Tire blows out. And then a truck pulls up. And then a guy comes out. And then, of course, he has a hook for a hand. Oh. And they just start screaming. They're like, yo, no. He's disabled. Yeah. And they're just like, don't kill us, you freak. And then he pulls his truck up in front of them. He's a tow truck. That's why he stops.
Oh.
And she's like, I'm so sorry. I thought you were the hook hand killer.
Yeah.
They're all in the truck. He gets a call on his CB. His buddy's like, hey, I went by your house. That guy who's fucking your wife is parked outside your house.
What?
Now he takes a gun out of the glove compartment with his hook hand. He's enraged.
He's hooking and gunning?
He's hooking and gunning, baby.
Oh, man.
He parks. He goes in, he punches the guy. He flies out the window. Then he starts shooting the gun. He starts shooting into his own truck. He almost hits the kids. I guess to avoid getting shot, they run into cheating guy's car and lock the doors. Guy pops up from the front seat, and they're like, oh, shit, it's a black guy. Oh, no! And he's stealing the car. But he also ends up being the hero of the movie.
Oh.
His name's Joe. He just sort of steals the car and keeps driving like they're not even in it.
Okay.
The car thief, Joe, is so nice. He's like, I just got to drop this car off at the hot car place, and then I'll drop you guys off. Which ends up being a dumb idea, because where he goes is full of gangsters and people that are like, why did you bring children here? So he goes into this garage. They're like, and then so they take the children and put them up in the office. They're like, oh, they've got the issue of Playboy here, too, with Elizabeth Shue. Everyone's got it. This is hot. They're like, even the gangsters were like, is that the babysitter? Anthony Rapp grabs that. But there's a hole in the ceiling where they can escape. But then the old guy's like, that on Elizabeth Shue's butt, I wrote all my crime notes.
Wait.
He's like, I got so turned on, I admitted to every crime I've ever done. And I wrote it all over Elizabeth Shue's amazing side boobs. And he's like, you got to get back that Playboy. So now they're chasing the kids. Okay, so then they go in a back door, and then they're just on stage at a blues club now. So everyone's just staring at them. Now we're treated to an amazing scene where she sings the Babysitter Blues. Oh. Because at first she's like, I can't sing the blues, and I think she's like, my life's pretty good. Sure. I feel like I want to hear people with great lives sing the blues. Yeah. Yeah, like Bill Gates is like, I got a little penis. Or whatever. I cry all the time. And people will be like, huh. That makes me feel better. Yeah, and she's getting high fives from singing the blues. What if Get Out was a movie about a white guy who's nailing it at a black barbecue? Like, they love him. And then in the last 5 minutes, he goes, man, you're all my boo. And they go Get Out. And that's the whole movie. Okay, so then they're getting chased some more, so they get away on the subway. So then there's the Warrior-style gang fight. Then the one guy with the switchblade, he just throws the switchblade into his shoe.
What?
Brad, the boy.
The Brad.
He gets him right in the foot. They take him to the hospital. They fix his foot. The guy with the hook for a hand, he's in the hospital. And he's like, oh, hey, I ended up towing your truck. The guy at the place wants you to pay. You need $50 to pay for the tire. And he tells them where their car is. So anyway, so the little girl needs to use the bathroom. And they just happen to walk by a frat party. So they go into this frat party. And then immediately 3 of the frat guys are like, holy shit, it's Miss March. Because they think. And one of them is our sensitive hero. He will become the love interest. And then Anthony Rapp's trying to be cool. And then this is when one of the frat guys goes, is it just me or does that kid look like a talking penis? Now Elizabeth Shue is talking to the guy. He's like, hey, what are you, like a sophomore? And she goes, in high school. And he goes, in high school? He's like, even better. So then she mentions she needs $50. And he's like, oh yeah, sure, got it. I'll give you $50. And then he gives him a ride to the mechanic. So he leaves. We go into the mechanic's place. You know, the hydraulic lift, dramatic, down from the sky. It's Vincent D'Onofrio. Oh. He has like muscles, golden hair, holding a hammer. The little girl's like, oh my God, Thor, I love you. You're my hero. And then she goes, my brother said you're a homo. And then this guy just gets mad.
What?
He grabs the brother. He's like, are you telling everyone? And he's like, $50 for the tire. And they're like, oh, the guy from before, he only had 45. She only has $45. And he's like, well, no tire then. And the little girl's like, I thought you helped people. And then she goes, oh, I know what's wrong. You're not wearing your hat. Mm-hmm. So she takes off her helmet she's been wearing the whole movie. She gives it to Thor. Oh. He looks at the hat. He looks at the girl. He's like, oh, you know what? Just take the tire. Oh, okay. And the thing is, if you let the kindness of a child melt your heart,
yes.
I mean, what a homo. The little girl wanders off to look at toys. The car thieves come up and they try to grab her. They happen to be downtown by the building where the parents are at having the party. So she runs up there. And then they go to the party. So they keep wandering around, almost getting seen by the parents, trying to avoid the bad guys. Then Joe comes up. Joe explains to them that they have the Playboy. They just want the Playboy. So then they give him the Playboy. Then the old guy comes up and he's like, give me the children. And then I think Joe punches the old guy. So Joe saves the day. They pick up Brenda. She'll never be the same again. Oh, and then they see the parents are coming home. They pass the parents. So now it's the Ferris Bueller, risky business. We got to beat the parents home, clean everything up, go to your room, act normal. She jumps over the couch just in time. The parents walk in. She looks peaceful. And they're like, well, I hope the kids didn't give you too much trouble. She's like, well, let's just say Brenda has hepatitis C. Wink. And then she goes upstairs and she's like, they bought it. And then everyone upstairs, the kids are all upstairs. And she's like, I have secrets with children. Yeah, that's always cool, Elizabeth. That's a good way to live your life, huh? So she walks out of the house. And who's standing there but the nice guy from the frat party? And he said that the little girl left her roller skate that had the address on it. So that's how we found her. He said, I wanted to ask you something. He says, I'm looking for a babysitter. And she says, well, I'm retired. And he says, that's too bad. And she said, who's the babysitter for? And he says, it's for me.
What?
He wants to be the baby.
Oh, no!
I think that's the twist.
No!
And then they kiss. No! I think this movie is the erotic evolution of Elizabeth Shue, because at the beginning of the movie, she's dancing around singing a song about just getting kissed. And by the end of the movie, she's engaging in a psychosexual, sadomasochistic role play scenario where I think she's going to have to change this guy's diaper. This guy kind of has Christian Grey vibes. So imagine 50 Shades of Grey, but he's a baby. I exercise control in all things, Miss Steele, except my Pampers. I'm the baby. The past was doing its best.
That's the theme song.
Leave them alone. Leave them alone. Leave them alone. They were doing their best.